For sure. So the weight is definitely coming down a lot. And like I said, with these quality head straps, the problem is they still ship with these things,
Mm,
and these are horrible. These are not good. This is bad. You throw
mm,
that out day one, right?
mm.
So and yeah, so the weight problem's coming down. You get a really decent head strap, and you don't feel them. For me, the main one was that the weight would sit on my cheekbones here and would just sit
Mm.
there, and I always hated that feeling. And then some people, like whether it's glasses, whether it's all those types of things, or it sits on your forehead,
Yeah, yeah.
there's always there's always some kind of pain point. And then of course Apple comes along. They think they've redesigned it, redone everything. We don't need a top strap. And then immediately they're like, oh no, we got to pivot. That head strap sucks. It looks cool in marketing, doesn't work. So yeah, all those types of things for sure are being fixed and have, I would say, for the most part, been solved.
Mhm.
Like I said, having the lenses good enough that the headset's not even sitting on your face anymore,
Mm.
is really good, because now I'm not like, put these goggles on your face and block out the whole world. Now I'm like, put this in front of your face
Mhm.
and look into it. And once someone looks into it, they're like, oh, okay. And then the head strap comes on. I've done this
Mm.
thousands of times now, right? So it's a little bit easier to ease someone into it, where it's like putting a screen in front of your face instead of like strapping goggles in, right?
Mm.
So we're definitely getting there in that space. I like what you said about the board game stores. Unfortunately, we're in Adelaide and business is tough. We don't have the same kind of scale. But I just came back from Brisbane 2 days ago. I went to Netherworld, which is
Mhm.
an arcade bar. Insane. Just
Mhm. Mhm.
every single wall surface pretty much was covered in arcade machines. We're talking the original 4-player Ninja Turtle arcade
Mhm. Mhm.
game. We're talking like, you've got your Time Crisis, House of the Dead, like all these awesome arcade experiences in a bar that sells awesome like craft
Mhm.
beer, and like what, 14 something pinball tables. I've been getting way into pinball lately because it's that perfect merge of like, it's a video game, it's arcade, it's addictive as hell. But it's relatively cheap if you think about it. If we're spending $120 on a AAA game that I'll never have time to play anymore,
Mhm. Mhm.
chucking $10 into a pinball machine that's a physical object that someone has to maintain and repair, I'm totally fine with that. And so like this bar is just incredible, right?
Mhm.
And I wish we had something like that in Adelaide. But like you were kind of pointing out, like since COVID, people are
Mhm.
now spending more money on experiences,
Mhm.
more money on shared spaces and experiences, than they are, whether it's products or digital goods. I think there's
Mhm.
been a
Mhm.
backswing of like, no, I want something tangible, I want
Mhm.
something physical. And so there's lots of examples of that. I've been calling this space, video games in real life. We're talking escape rooms, smash
Mm. Mm.
rooms, axe throwing, whether it's ice skating or whether it's all these types of things, right? Where it's like, it feels like a video game, it's in real life, it's physical, it's tangible,
Mhm.
meet up with a couple of friends. And I also think that like, sort of your Magic the Gathering, your Pokemon, your Yu-Gi-Oh, your D&D, your board games, your RPG, your LARPing, your
Mhm.
Gel Blaster, all that kind of stuff. I kind of class that as video games in real life
Mm.
now.
Mm.
Looking at more like broader trends, we're seeing a drop in alcohol consumption
Mhm.
globally. Young people aren't drinking as much alcohol. They are going out and having these more experiences. The best part about it is you don't even have to stop drinking beer, because some of the alcohol-free beer now is incredible.
Mhm.
Gin and wine still need a little bit of time in the can to like taste as good as the non-alcohol variants, but they're
Mhm.
really getting there. And so we're actually seeing this kind of healthier social life emerging,
Mhm.
and it's booming. It's absolutely booming. These escape rooms are booming. There's all these other ones. We just had what Hijinks Hotel, Holy Moly, open up in the last like few years. There's another one. Ballers is another one where you play shuffleboard,
Mm.
bowling, all that kind of stuff. Some other bars in town doing all that stuff.
Mm.
So it's really cool, and I think that is a good space. Like we're not losing that shared social space where you can meet people and have these connections
Mhm.
and meet up with friends and stuff in real life, because sometimes it's just hard to find time to do that
Right.
in the busy world that we have. So I think we're seeing an uptick in that. But we're seeing digital equivalents of all of these things as well. And that's sort of where I put VR, right? Like I would say VR is sort of like going to Holy Moly with your friends, but there's no commute, there's no cost. You can just, hey, want to meet up? Yeah, okay, let's do it. Click a button, put your headset on, you're there, right? That's sort of the solution that Meta is building. And these other platforms have it as well. PC VR, all that stuff, that's sort of there and that sort of exists now. The problem with the like sort of more like macro economy part of VR right now is that we're sort of doing this little bit of a shift. Because they're such a big player, they can twist the industry in any direction they want at the moment.
Sure.
But Samsung and Google are about to jump in and upset that, which I think is actually a good thing. But what Meta are sort of trying to do now, in a way, they sort of want to be the theme park,
right?
Like they sort of want to be the Disneyland, and you come to Disneyland, and you meet up with your friends and you socialize there. So it used to be that you would see all your friends post photos or whatever on Facebook. That's done. And then it was like, okay, now let's see your friends post, their best day on Instagram while you're sitting there on a couch eating, snacks and feeling fat and lazy because you're low energy from work or whatever. And I feel like that was that dissonance of like the fake social media world that is real but not real.
It was like very what do you call it? Polished, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Very, very, very polished, very fake, very filtered experience. Where there's where that sort of that dissonance was coming in. Meta are sort of creating this theme park kind of world idea, but it's more of a platform than a game. But then you can build in there. It's all user generated content, right? It's like your Roblox and your Minecrafts and your Fortnite. They sort of want to be a Fortnite Roblox platform where you go, you experience the world, and you can go out and you can go bowling, you can go play mini golf, you can go fly hang gliders with your friends, you can go do all these different things. You can go play Battle Royale or laser tag or disc golf and all that kind of stuff. With your friends, and it's a click of a button away, and it's already using your existing social stuff, right? So you log in. You don't have to log in with your Facebook account anymore, but you have your Meta friends, and you click on it, and it will send you to that world there, right? One of the most popular experiences right now is the set of The Office built in a 3D world, and then you can reenact parts of the episodes and things like that. So it's kind of this cute thing. Unfortunately, it just like looked really bad initially. Which is just funny, and so gamers like came at him and raged and all that kind of stuff, and like they sold us this idea before it was ready, all that kind of stuff, like business, shareholder kind of thing. Right. But what's crazy is that like that won't be the only metaverse. Like I said, Resonite is already that, but it's completely open source. And there's these two approaches, right? Like gamers are already very aware of this before anyone else will be, but it's about like, do you go the cosmetic microtransaction route? Or do you want to live in this Ready Player One? Well, I guess Ready Player One is still sort of the meta platform, right? So I'm not sure if you're familiar with Snow Crash, but it's a book from the 90s. And it sort of described this metaverse world. It actually coined the term metaverse. And it's a really cool book, but it's pretty bang on. Like we're basically hitting that moment now. And I would class VR Chat Resonite as the metaverse in Snow Crash, and Meta are very much building the Ready Player One Oasis style thing, right? So it's like all the IPs are there. It's your Fortnite. It's going to concerts and seeing Snoop Dogg or whatever, and all that kind of stuff inside of the metaverse. So that's Meta's doing that, and they're sort of slowly pivoting away from a game developer building a game software in some software stack like Unreal or Unity, and then selling it on a marketplace to users, right? I think their view is that fractures the people that have the game, the people that don't have the game.
Right.
And then that's harder to then build massive communities, and it's harder to experience that. They're sort of in a position now where they're saying like, we'd rather you build it in our world, in our platform, and then everybody can play it. It's all uniform. It's you don't have to download the software. You don't have to buy the software separately. You're not locking people out of certain things. Do you remember when Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer got really crap because it if you had all the DLC or you didn't have all the DLC.
Right.
And it slowly, and because there wasn't dedicated servers, it slowly fractured the multiplayer until it basically died, and it just sucked. And then you had this really expensive game that you couldn't play anymore because the matchmaking sucked. I guess that I don't know if that's their opinion, but that's sort of where I'm seeing this shift, which is interesting because then I'm sort of seeing, I think I'm picking up what they're putting down, and I think I'm seeing that they're slowly shifting now into a more YouTube / Amazon Unlimited deal, right? So it's sort of like on YouTube, it's ad supported viewership, right?
Sure.
So now it's you don't need to be a TV producer, you don't need to know people, you don't need to be in the industry, you don't have to sell your show to one of these channels and then get funding, and then you make money on the back end and they sell ads against it, right? YouTube is this, ubiquitous, democratized platform to do that. And now I upload a video, it goes to the world. Awesome. And it's ad supported. People can pay a premium to get rid of ads. Awesome. I see that is probably where we're headed. Amazon Unlimited is a very interesting thing as well. It's or is it Kindle Unlimited? I think it's Kindle Unlimited or whatever, but it's the same thing for books.
Yeah,
so
Kindle Unlimited.
Then it's like you upload a book, and then the author gets paid per page, right? Which is kind of interesting. I've got a couple of friends that have made some very nerdy, very niche books and chucked them up on Amazon Unlimited and made Kindle Unlimited and made a little bit of money. So I think which is awesome. I think that's actually a really cool kind of YouTubeification of authors and books and novels. I think that's really cool as well. So we're sort of in this weird shifting world. Because I honestly think YouTube is probably one of the best things that's happened to people in a long time. Giving creators access to eyeballs and to a means of creating content and getting paid to do it. But I think we're in a sort of fracturing of fame and fortune and success in a way where it's like you don't have to be a world famous actor now to be world famous. Where it was sort of like the 1% of the 1% of actors globally would be famous, and everyone else would be putting in the work, putting in the same amount of work, working really hard, and basically not getting anything or not getting paid at all ever, and having to do it part time. I think now we're kind of shifting to sort of this like unification of it, where everyone can be sort of famous, sort of successful part time, doing something they love part time, and maybe needing another job or a side hustle of some sort as well, right? We're sort of in that space. But now it's getting more and more achievable. There's more and more people viewing this content online now directly, that the audience is now sort of big enough where you can make a decent living doing this stuff full time if you can build up the audience. And the good thing is these types of platforms, they work on genuineness. Like you need to be genuine online, otherwise people won't. And in a weird way, AI is going to actually, I think, weaponize that even further, that people are going to shift away from robotic AI content, and people are going to seek out even more genuine content, and it'll need to be verifiably genuine, because people interact with people.